FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. He's going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Bill Callahan fan club president, Jake Bakoven.
I love Billy Steve.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Hold up.
Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. I'm Jake Bakoven. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, longtime NBA vet Eric Strickland, and we are here every day from 4 to 6, every weekday, I should say. We're not coming in on weekends just yet. DP doesn't have us doing that. What do you think about working 7 days a week, Strick? A little too much.
Boy.
Football season, it pretty much
probably
is.
would, yeah.
It's 6 days a week, but on the 7th day we rest.
Right.
Occasionally, but usually we just watch more football and continue in the sports world. But that it is what it is. I can't wait for football season. You know, you just kind of think pretty soon we're going to go through all-star break in baseball where there's no football, basketball, baseball, just basically no sports. The ESPYs will be on to kind of sidetrack us. So at least we'll have that. Compare that to just a nice football fall where you got Thursday night football and then some games on Friday night and Saturday's college football galore. And then Sunday you got professional going, then Monday night football. Then you don't have to wait too long. Action's in there on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
And you get it going back on Thursday. I just love football season and I miss it. But it is what it is. Sometimes you got to live through the summer. There are benefits to the summer as well. The weather's pretty nice.
I would have to agree. It got quite scorching today. But I did one of the things I've learned continuously as I've moved around between Texas and here, it's usually always windy.
Yeah.
Some type of wind blowing somehow, some way, even if it feels like it's a hot fan. There's a nice little breeze just continuously rolling. You know, and so when I got to Florida, it wasn't too much like that. You know, you
Not
had
too much
some
wind down there?
breezy days. Nah, it wasn't a lot of wind. It was some breezy days. The way that the days would cool off there is it would rain every day, maybe for 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And so it would cool the day off a little bit, but it wouldn't be wind or breeze or anything like that.
Wind usually helps, but I hate when it's like hot outside and then you get like a warm wind coming in. You're just like, there's no way to
not
escape.
to have it. Yeah, I would prefer to just have the sun and have the hot breeze.
Yeah.
That feels like a hot fan. There's nothing worse than that. But you know, growing up, I mean, shoot, we didn't have like I grew up in Alabama mostly, but we didn't have any air conditioners. You had the ones that you put in the windows and stuff like that, but in the house you didn't have them. So you would sleep like dang near with nothing but just the fan.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. Like when I look back at it, like you didn't have to like today is so much different. Like when you're dealing with kids today, you got to watch them. Like you got to go out and they're riding a bike. You know, in most cases, you got to go out and, you know, watch what's going on because, you know, people have gotten crazy and bold these days with the way that they, you know, when we were kids, we jump on the bike and ride all around the town and neighborhood and all that stuff. But it got, you know, we used to play till the sun up and sun down. I don't think,
Street lights.
you come inside. Yeah.
Street lights.
You come inside and mom was like, get your butt back outside. And, you know, you don't come in for no water either. You drink water out of the.
When's the last time you drank out of a hose, though?
Man,
maybe you don't want to go back to that day.
Yeah, I can't say. It was hosey tasting.
Yes.
Let me just
it
say
always
that.
did taste like a
Like
hose.
a hose. It was hosey tasting. And then you had to kind of let it run a little bit because it would be hot when it first came out.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah, just hot, hosey
Hot,
water.
Hosey water. But yeah, man. But now it's different. It's a different time. You can't put a freaking fan in the window. Somebody will jump through that thing. You know what I mean? Like you gotta shut your windows and lock your stuff these days. You know, we used to like just leave doors open and stuff like that.
Well, now you can't even park your car in the street or your Cadillac converter will be taken.
Shoot, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, when you get down to the point where you're taking air conditioning coils and stuff like that, it's next level.
Yeah, hopefully that goes away for a little bit, or at least dies down a little bit as we move on. But are you a big time, because you grew up, like you said, with the fans, are you big with fans going to sleep? I find it a little bit more calming for myself. I like to get cold so that I can get warm under the blankets.
Oh, I have to sleep with a fan.
Absolutely.
There's no question.
Yeah.
Some form of a fan running where it gives me that little extra to put me under the blanket.
Yeah.
I would prefer that.
I'm a big time fan sleeper.
Big time fan sleeper.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it. Let's get into some sports here. We were just talking about the Elite 11 here on the Ticket Water Cooler because Gretna's Zane Flores actually showed out pretty well there. And of course, he's not Nebraska's quarterback commit. They didn't really go after him too much from what I understand because they went after William Watson. Who is a different quarterback, similarly ranked for what that's worth, kind of going up into it. But Nebraska's coaches, specifically, their offensive coordinator had developed a relationship with him.
Yeah, Whipple actually signed him.
Yeah, so it was pretty quick. It was a pretty quick turnaround. Once Whipple joined Nebraska, William Watson wasn't too far behind. So you kind of understand that, but do you still have a problem with Nebraska having a quarterback that might, he's fighting to make the Elite 11. So, top 24, top at quarterback, maybe he finishes in the top 11 out there if he does the drills right and stuff like that. Do you find it a little bit problematic, or maybe something where you can look back and say, definitely going to compare Zane Flores to William Watson throughout his career because he signed at Oklahoma State. It's not like, he's going to Southern Miss or anything. No offense to Southern Miss or any of the lower level programs, but, a similar probably level program in these days at Oklahoma State, a pretty good, passing school. And I just think it's going to be fascinating to look back and think, man, you had an Elite 11 quarterback in your own state. That just doesn't happen every year at Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty, hand clap to Zane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll cheer for it. By the way, I'll cheer for Nebraskans. I don't care whether they go to Nebraska or where they go, but
to make it to their, that's a next level club. I mean, when you're talking about the people that have come out of that club it's quite phenomenal. When you look down the years, I know you probably already addressed it. I mean, with Caleb Williams and, some Big Ten talent in CJ Stroud and Justin Fields and a few years that followed from them. They actually they won it, right?
Yeah, those were the MVPs.
So, you have that type of talent that's come out of there to include right now there's 3 professionals, one leading the perennial rising of USC, and then Spencer Rattler, who went to that college and just couldn't beat the guy, that guy kind of came in behind him. But they were competing against each other and just the other one won out. But nonetheless, he's got a chance. He's still at a great program in the SEC down in South Carolina. So yeah, man, that's top of the line wine. Where he fits and where he falls is going to be interesting to see what Nebraska. I that could be a story. Look, please don't call in or text in saying Strick is tripping today. Like, what was he eating before he got here? But
you got a banana over here. That's healthy eating.
Yeah.
So no question there.
But you would hate for it to be a Jordan Burrow type of situation.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Yeah. What am I eating? To be a Joe Burrow type of situation where you had him right literally down the street. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Down the street from my house. And he gets away and goes and blows up like crazy down at OSU. So that's something to kind of watch and monitor how that all plans out.
Yeah, sometimes it's like just, don't overthink it, because, but I mean, but for the coaches, they have to.
Yeah. Because
they're similarly ranked. Like I said, it's not like when you look at the national rankings and coaches, maybe use that, but they're going to go off their own gut instincts and what they see with their eyes a little bit more than that. You have to trust that. I mean, that's what makes you a coach, right? That's what makes the difference. You're not just looking up where rivals rank them. You actually have some thoughts about how they fit. And there's fits.
Yeah.
And there's all different things that kind of play into, what's going to be, make your choice. But then at the same time, sometimes I think, you're getting in the way, like the fact that you have kind of outside knowledge and experience and all that stuff kind of blinds you to the fact that sometimes there's just these guys right down the road. All that being said, it's fascinating too, is because Nebraska doesn't usually have an Elite 11 type of quarterback or somebody that's going to be able to go to an Oklahoma State quarterbacking in the state. So there's seemingly, there's kind of a thought there that might go the other way for Nebraska. At the same time, they are just landing Nebraska kids
that's what I was
left
going to
and
say
right.
next. So it's not like they're not going after Nebraska kids.
Yeah.
So you're on it.
You just hope they didn't, 10 years from now, we go, well, they got 6 of the best 7 ones, but the best one was Zane Flores, and they missed on him.
Yeah.
But who knows there? We'll see how that plays out. And for what it is, I mean, it puts you in a weird kind of position because I'll be cheering for Zane Flores because, like I said, he's a Nebraska kid, and I want anybody from the state of Nebraska to do well as long as, they're not awful people or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of weird because while you cheer for that, at the same time, you're also cheering for Nebraska maybe to have made a mistake. So we'll just say it like this. I'll cheer for Zane Flores, but I'll cheer for William Watson a little bit more.
I got a chance to watch a little bit of film on him. I think he's pretty solid on mechanics. I think there's some areas that could be touched up on, his fakes in his reads. It seemed to be pretty simple for him to make the reads that he were making. So there would be some advancement that would need to be done there. It seemed like he could make the throws. I seen him, hit some guys on point, on target. He similar kind of style. He had really good tight ends. It looked like, big body tight ends that would be similar to like the style that he would have here in Nebraska, guys that run up seams and get into different areas that he were able to hit and to take advantage of. But it also dictates what the competition levels are. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are things that, but again, you've kind of got to give some deference to Whipple.
Yeah.
Whipple probably was on the kid earlier, and he wanted to stay the course, and
he's feeling himself right now too. He just got his quarterback drafted in the first round, so he probably feels pretty good about what he's doing.
Yeah. So you got to kind of give some deference to that, and coming new to the area, definitely, I'm sure Nebraska wasn't probably part of his pipeline as far as his recruiting of quarterback. So
and he
getting in late, and
he checks every other box. He's been a former head coach. He's worked with NFL guys. He's, he obviously the success he just had at Pittsburgh. The one thing that and it's hard to check all the boxes, right? The one thing that is kind of missing there is Big Ten experience. And the only, I guess, what compounds that fear to me is a little bit is that Scott Frost came in without Big Ten offensive, Big Ten experience, and he just thought, and the infamous quote from his opening press conference is that the Big Ten was going to have to adjust to his offense.
Right.
And now you just kind of wonder if you rarely get, I don't even know if you call it plan B or plan C, because this is the third offensive coordinator. You rarely get 3 offensive coordinators to give it a shot here, but we kind of know it was Frost's offense to begin with, and now, but you rarely get a second chance. And for both times, maybe to go out without Big Ten experience is seems a little odd, and maybe something they'll look back at if it doesn't work out. But again, you can't check every box. Mark Whipple is one of the hottest offensive coordinators in the nation. So in no way am I saying that that's a bad hire or anything. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting. Doesn't have Big Ten experience, and that's really what, in my mind, partially bit Scott Frost.
Yeah, that is part of the thing that's kind of hurt him. But he stayed the course with the quarterback he thought he had. Seemed like he gave opportunities to others to step in, and worked in some situations, didn't work in others. There was no consistency. There was a lot of inconsistency. So then when you're taking L's, you kind of go back to what you know. I mean, it's the same thing in life, right? I mean, when things starts to go awry and situations start to happen and unfold, and you kind of will revert back to what was comfortable and what as opposed to the unknown, and you would rather your ship go down with what you're familiar with as opposed to what you don't know. And so I think that's kind of what happened. And I really do think that, okay, I guess the best analogy I can give to our listeners is like this. Playing golf, I think, so I haven't played golf in, I think I shared this yesterday, I haven't played in about 6 months.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes bad habits, bad mechanics. You just kind of settle and just don't try to overdo things. You just kind of just get there, look at it, see it, hit it, and operate out of that. And the areas of your weakness sometimes actually can become your strength when you're not trying to do too much. Not trying to make up a shot that went, a little bit awry, just trying to stay within yourself and don't overplay your hands, right? That's what happened. And I ended up shooting like an 83 on a course that was really tough. But maybe that can be a situation with Nebraska, right? You don't know, you don't have any expectation. Well, you have expectations, but you don't have any assumed expectations on the success of your quarterbacks and what they're going to do. You have expectations on what to expect from your coaches and what you got to, get them ready to do. But ultimately, those type of situations when you don't know can end up boding well for you, right? So not knowing what Casey Thompson's going to do, not not seeing the roller coaster rides of what you do and having to deal and having to talk to media about, well, I was garbage the last couple of years, or I'm dealing with an injury, oh, I'm coming back, oh, you've got all these things that I'm sure Adrian Martinez had to deal with over the course of his time that you don't have that. So you can just come in and just be you.
Yeah, the fresh coat of paint is like you don't leave the toxic coat of paint still on the wall.
Right.
And I think
you scrape it off. You scrape it and sand it and
And so I think that is, and then obviously it gives, game planning is going to be difficult for anybody. They don't know what the offense is going to look like, how much of Scott Frost's offense is going to be there. I'm fascinated to see how it plays out. And I think it does give Nebraska a little bit of an advantage. I'd want to mention this too. And I know we get, every company does this, or, different outlet will tell you their bowl predictions. But I did see an interesting one from Athlon. They are thinking like we would, that we'd be interested in Nebraska-Kansas State matchup. So if both teams can get bowl eligible, Athlon's got them in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which is newly named. I think it's been several different bowls. It was the Cheez-It Bowl not too long ago. It's been the Buffalo Wild Wing Bowl, the Insight Bowl before. So, I mean, it's gone
Where's
through
it
different
played?
Names. It's actually played at Diamondbacks, where the Diamondbacks play
in Arizona.
In Arizona.
I would be there for that one.
Phoenix, Chase Field.
Let's get it.
That'd be cool. I would love it. I mean, I think that there's of any bowl opponent that Nebraska has after the season, obviously, college football playoffs, or, you'd rather have one of those great bowl games. But if things go maybe as predicted, for those of us that are optimistic and that Nebraska will get to a bowl game, but not overly great, I think Kansas State's the matchup everybody wants to see. That would just be glorious to see Adrian Martinez have a chance. Although it would be kind of scary. I mean, if he beats you after you finally make it to the bowl game, and then Adrian beats you, where are you? I mean, What did you do that season?
Right. Well, I mean, I have a question for you, though. I mean, based off of the fact that Zane Flores is now down at the Elite 11, I mean, there's been some good ones. There's been some great quarterbacks that have obviously been down there. I mean, in 2021, you have Cade Klubnik, and 2020, Caleb Williams, and we know what he could do. And 19, CJ Stroud, 18, Spencer Rattler, 17, Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, and 16, but to you, who do you think was the best that came out of that camp all time? I mean, how would you view it? Where would you see?
Yeah, that's
being
tough.
The best of that group, or the group that you've seen.
Well, it's tough because those are just the MVPs that I listed out there. So there's 11 quarterbacks that ultimately make it in the Elite 11, and then there's the MVP of it. So that's just kind of what I listed there as the MVPs. When you go over the history of it, I mean, you have Andrew Lucks and Deshaun Watsons and, Matt Leinertz, and it's been going since 1999. So there's a lot of guys to go through there. Jamarcus Russell was one. I'll just run through it and name some of them out there. And
Bust.
Well, yeah, he ultimately. We're talking college here, I suppose, or pro, just whatever way you want to look
Bust.
at it. Chase Daniel, pretty good at Missouri, long career,
long backup career.
Yeah,
great backup.
Mark
career.
Sanchez, the Sanchez, butt fumble. He was there as well. Josh Freeman, actually, who one-time commit to Nebraska, was part of the Elite 11 back in the day. Matt Stafford, Tim Tebow. I mean, there's hardly a better college football player than Tim Tebow. So
and that's the crazy dynamic that you have to deal with regards to Tim, because he was just ultimately a winner. And even when he played then, he didn't throw a great ball at any time of his career. He just was a freaking winner.
Yeah.
And in college football, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? You put him in a system, let him win.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd probably ultimately go with him, but it's hard. It depends on if you're doing college or pro, because, once you get into the pros,
I think you got to add
Bridgewaters.
I think you got to add an element of some criteria that takes you beyond, because I mean, you could look at some of their high school credentials, but then you've got to think of competition level. You got to think of all these different things. So I think if you have a compilation of their high school, their college, and then kind of what they did in the pros, if they had some accolades that came out of that, then I think if you mount that all, then you can come up with a solution. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have that type of
well, there's rarely like we do the GOAT conversation, and part of that is because it's pretty easy. You can just kind of everybody, once you get to that level, it's kind of like, okay, well, it's Tom Brady or Joe Montana, or it's Michael Jordan or LeBron James, and there's just kind of and not that older generations wouldn't throw in their guy as well, but you narrow it down pretty easily. But when you do something like this, it's hard because there's just so many guys with a lot of different success, but there's not like a Tom Brady, right? There's not like a guy that stands out. Just go, well, that's the guy, obviously, like Kyler Murray, Jameis Winston. Like I said, Andrew Luck was on here. There's just so many different names, and you mentioned them as of late: Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence. So
is he going to end up being a bust?
Trevor Lawrence, I wouldn't say.
I think Jacksonville is the freaking dunghole of it seems like every quarterback that goes down there ends up in Dungeons and Dragons. Like you're freaking fighting out of the dungeon, and you're getting all of the Pokemon cards that get killed every time they show. It's like you're the worst Pokemon card on earth. It's crazy.
You got a Metapod. I got my Pokemon joke. He could only harden. All he can do is defense.
Yeah,
that's
it, bro. It's crazy. I don't know. If I'm a quarterback, I'm saying to myself, I do not want to go to Jacksonville. I would probably say, what? Honda Lincoln Hotline.
Cleveland's the other one, though.
That's what. Honda Lincoln Hotline. Please help Stricky. Top 3, 402-464-5685. Top 3 dungeons and dung holes of the NFL that if you're quarterback, that you just say, I do not in all points. If I'm throwing out an all points bulletin, a bolo that I'm looking for the team to not go to, I don't want to be found. Which team is that? In the NFL.
Eli Manning had his idea back in the day. I'm not going to San Diego. There's no way. You remember he forced his way to the Giants, which turned out well for him. So we'll get your response to that. We'll also get to Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald, run back some of the College World Series stuff, and Husker football heating up here, especially commit-wise, here in the month of June. We'll talk about that coming up next year on The Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
MaxTan is celebrating 29 years with some Max-tastic birthday sales. Get 50% off unlimited tanning, sun, and spray with no contract and no sign-up. MaxTan celebrates 29 years with you with 4 Lincoln locations. Take your tan to the max at MaxTan.
Don't wait for the Lincoln fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff now at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. Roca Crazy Cracker fireworks in downtown Roca. On-time transport in Lincoln says, stay safe this Independence Day by keeping parties off of our roads. Avoid talking, texting, and speeding. And don't forget, buzz driving is still driving under the influence and can lead to trouble or grief. This safety message from On-Time Transport. For more information, call 402-328-9082 or visit them online at ottlincoln.com. On-Time Transport, reminding you that when you're behind the wheel, let's give our truckers some room on the road and have a safe, happy July 4th holiday.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies, hot conditions here for our Wednesday, topping out at 94, and it will be a little windy. South winds could gust to around 30. Overnight, a few passing clouds, a low down to around 70. It will be hot again tomorrow with a high up to around 95. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Guys, let me tell you about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. I did their 10-week challenge, and I lost 36 pounds. I got stronger, I got fitter, I got healthier. Their proven method combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition, and personalized coaching to set you up for success. The only thing you need to be asking is, why didn't I do this 10 weeks ago? The next challenge begins on July 9th, and you can join for half off by mentioning the ticket. Head to fxblincoln.com to learn more and join the 10-week challenge with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping for 50% off. Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Bagels & Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels & Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Pillar Restaurant Group is proud to announce the full opening of our brick-and-mortar venue-at-home store, Lincoln's new premier specialty grocers. This store is home to our brand new Butchery by Venue. Get the finest Nebraska steaks, hand-cut in-house by our butcher, prepared for our restaurants, and available for you to take home. With hand-selected specialty seafood, charcuterie, wine, bourbon, and liquor options. Come in today to see what we have to offer at 70th and Pioneers in the Pioneer Woods Shopping Center. Open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Got some breaking news in the NBA front as there's a lot going on as far as free agency.
Breaking news?
Breaking news is DeJounte Murray has been
San Antonio
has been on the trade block. We've kind of heard over the last few days. No longer in San Antonio. Multiple first-round picks and Danilo Gallinari sent from the Hawks. So DeJounte Murray will now be part of a backcourt with Trae Young. You like it? They kind of both play point guard, but it allows Trae Young to be an off guard.
DeJounte likes to handle that rock.
He does.
You got a problem of two
point guards.
Two Pat point guards. Like Pat,
ball
Pat,
dominant
Pat,
point
Pat,
guards.
Pat, Pat dominant.
There you go.
That's always tough, bro. That's really tough. Like, for example, like Dame Lillard is a point guard that handles, but he's not a Pat type of guy, right? So if you're playing alongside Bradley Beal or who was just up there with him, that just CJ McCollum, you know, guys that also need to handle, you know, a Paul George type, you're going to need somebody that's a Pat, but just to give you break because they like to handle Pat, do things. Playing aside like a James Harden, you know, there's a difference between a CP3 and a James Harden.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, like, it's really, that's the thing about the NBA to me now is finding out what those core, your core is going to be, and then what those core qualities of the players are, and do they mesh? Because if they don't, for instance, we've seen the worst of it in LA. Pat, LeBron with super Pat,
Yeah.
Westbrook. That stuff don't work. You know what I'm saying? It hinders, you know, the best of what Anthony Davis does. It hinders, you know, LeBron's effectiveness. So then he changes his whole mind. It's crazy. And I understood how Kevin Durant got frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the part that you're hoping can be worked out.
Yeah.
That's the part that you have to, as a coach, try to figure out how to finagle your lineups to work to where their Pats are offset in their play. You start them together, and then you figure out in your rotation how you make sure they're kind of in offset moments, and they're not playing all the time in that role to where there's frustration or you're getting out of rhythm or you're losing what they do best because of the fact that one of the others is over Pat.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. Maybe Trae Young off ball can.
Do you understand on the Sutter Heyman talk line? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't no one understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's what I'll always say. That's my rush hour joke. Let's go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline there. Sorry, got confused there. 402-464-5685. We're joined by Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. Evan, I wanted to start with this because Strick threw it out to the text line. What are the three like dungeons, the dungeon franchises if you get drafted or we wouldn't want to be if you're a quarterback in the NFL? Which franchises stick out to you the most?
Well, I think the one that comes to mind first would be the Bears. I mean, you play in a cold climate. You're constantly reminded about your quarterback inadequacies when you play Green Bay every year for the last, 30 seasons, it seems like. They just, guys, nobody gets better there, and the guys that are viewed as good don't always stay that way. How good has Justin Fields been necessarily?
Right. That's what I was going to say. Elite 11, Justin Fields is in trouble then. Go ahead.
Right. I mean, I think, they're certainly not the only ones. I think of Washington and Jacksonville.
Okay.
I'm still putting Cleveland in there too.
Okay.
Though, Baker's had his moments, but I think I'd have to go Chicago. Real quick, if you guys would indulge me, you're talking about that Hawks Spurs trade. I'm a Spurs fan, so I feel like I can speak somewhat intelligently on this. It's a major move on the Spurs side. Everyone talks about the Hawks and Murray. But on the Spurs side, they haven't really sold off like this, in the last, 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know that, Popovich is the guy who's going to be rebuilding there in his 70s in the next few years. But, I would say that I'm for that move just because they've been in sort of that purgatory, that 8-9 spot where you just don't want to be in the NBA, where you're just barely fighting to get in and you don't get the good draft picks. So, as much as people are excited about it from the Atlanta standpoint, I'll take it from the Spurs side too.
Well, real quick, let's stay there real quick because Evan, when you talk about that as well, it's not a destination city as well, right? You have to be able to do it, and they've been effective in doing it in the G League, and they've been effective in doing in signing and the way that they've kind of accumulated their talent. But the Spurs also have to try to figure out who their next coach is going to be to lead them. Who could you see being the next type of guy that can come down into that San Antonio Spurs that has been dominant for so long in the way that they've done business as an organization? Who could you see taking the reins from Popovich and taking it to the next phase of it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question down there because you're right. He's not going to be there all that much longer. The good news, I think, if you're the Spurs organization, is if you want to keep it in-house, he has quite the coaching tree. I mean, he himself came from the Larry Brown coaching tree before him, and he's had a number of assistants over the years, whether that's Budenholzer or, a number of other guys who've gone on to be head coaches elsewhere in the league that you could call upon to say, hey, these guys know the quote unquote Spurs way, come on back and let's see if we can continue this, or you can reset the thing and go a different direction too. I mean, that would be awfully attractive with some of the draft capital that they're building up. But you're right, like the Spurs can't do it the way that some of your big market teams can do it. I mean, even when they were at the peak of their powers, it was like pulling teeth to get some of your top free agents to consider San Antonio. They just didn't go there, even if there was the money and the promise of winning games. So they have to do it a little bit differently. But I do think because of the success they've had in the last 20 years, they're going to have more options maybe than people think.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because you brought up Budenholzer and Ime Udoka is another one that just led the Celtics to the finals. But those guys almost have risen above the level of rebuilding in San Antonio. But I would, if I were you, I'd like to keep it on the tree, like you're saying, and maybe a Becky Hammond, the Milkman says off the text line, that'd be a historic move. But in any case, I'd like to keep it on the Pop coaching tree.
She's actually moved on,
great.
She
did. She's in WNBA
now.
Yeah, but maybe able to come back there. So that's fascinating. Also, Evan, since we have you here, I also wanted to talk about the College World Series a bit because the last 3 years now has been won by an SEC team. Seems like the sport's headed in that direction. Is that kind of how you see it?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they're the league that puts the most into it in terms of resources. And, it was kind of funny even to see Ole Miss win it this year. Like, they were the last at-large team in, and they were a 3 seed. But, it was hard to consider them an underdog in the true sense of the word. I mean, this was not Stony Brook. This was not Coastal Carolina winning it in 2016. This was not Fresno State winning it, 12 years ago. This is a school that pays its head coach $1.2 million a year, that has facility upgrades, that has a ton of talent around it. So even when, the favorites in the league like Tennessee lose, the league still wins because those teams, those other teams have so much talent and so much depth, and they're so prepared and steeled by the regular season that by the time they get to the postseason, they're ready to go. And I think that's the way college baseball is going. The saying, follow the money. Well, that's a league like the Big Ten, but unlike the Big Ten, a lot of the money has trickled down from football into those baseball programs. There's a lot of passion there. Obviously, they have the geographical advantage with warmer weather and more people that play baseball year round. So, yeah, I don't see that changing anytime soon. And if the sport continues to trend in the direction that it looks like it's going to, with unlimited scholarships and some of the other things changing, I think you're even going to see that chasm widen between some of your power teams that really care and the rest of college baseball.
All right, quick, Evan, I know we always love having you. Thank you continuously for being a part of On the Block. We thank you for your joining us with your wisdom, and we appreciate of that. But one of the things I want is a quick 2-part. It's obviously we know that Zane Flores has chosen to right now as a commitment to OSU or Oklahoma State, and he's right here out of Gretna, and the Huskers have chosen to kind of go with Whipple as in the committed signing of hopefully William Washington. Okay, but Zane Flores finds himself down at the Elite Eight, and I mean not Elite Eight, the Elite 11 quarterback competition basically, and What do you think that would look like if he ends up like being a superstar for the program down there at OSU, and William Watson just kind of ends up being basically average?
Well, yeah, that would not be a positive development for the hometown school. There's no doubt about it. But it's just kind of is what it is. Like, those two guys are going to be sort of linked through no fault or action of their own, just because of what you laid out, where Nebraska chose to go another way, and they chose to rely on their new offensive coordinator, who had long established a relationship with William Watson and who felt comfortable that he could run the kind of offense that they want to run. And so, like, the range of outcomes is so wide, right? Like, you could see, a worst case where things don't work out this year for Nebraska and the whole staff is turned over anyway, and then Flores dominates at Oklahoma State. Like, that could happen. That's a possibility. But I think you could also, see things go the other way, where, Whipple comes in and the offense takes, and Watson's a guy who down the road can sling it and do what they want him to do too. So, it's so interesting in Nebraska, because there are so many other parts of the country where you have such an abundance of talent that you just know you're not going to get everybody. But at Nebraska, or in this state, even with the advancements of high school football talent and how it's probably as good as it's been in a long time, there's still this sort of desire, or maybe even assumption, that all the best players in the state should stay here. They should want to stay here, and the school should want them to come to that school. And I think this is just an example where, maybe the skill sets were different. Maybe Zane had eyes to get out of the state the way some of the other top prospects do too. So certainly it's going to be something that we'll talk about in terms of Nebraska's evaluation of that position. But again, there's so much to be written on that story that it's going to be fascinating to follow.
Well, the last thing, this is the two-parter. The Elite 11 MVPs in the Big Ten, 2019 CJ Stroud or 2017 Justin Fields. Who do you see is the better of those two?
Boy, I mean, they both have had outstanding receivers to work with. We've seen Fields complete work at Ohio State. We haven't seen what Stroud can do, over the long term. I saw Fields play a couple years ago when they were at Ohio State, when Nebraska was out there, and I think he threw one incompletion. Pretty remarkable stuff. So, I don't know if Stroud has a higher upside over the course of the next 2 years before he inevitably gets drafted and maybe wins a Heisman. So,
okay.
I guess just based on some of the what we've seen so far from both teams or both players, I guess I'd say Stroud.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning to. But yeah, I just think that ultimately he's a little bit more consistent as far as accuracy and just more of a pro style quarterback in that sense. But yeah, I thought the same thing. Okay, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, that'll wrap it up with Evan Bland. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but thanks again for joining us this week, Evan.
Thanks as always, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, there he goes, Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for Shootout with Strick. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Only one of you guys can do it. So give us a call right now, 402-464-5685. We've got some Elite 11 trivia coming up next year on Shootout with Strick on the Block.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
MaxTan is celebrating 29 years with some Max-tastic birthday sales. Get 50% off unlimited tanning, sun, and spray with no contract and no sign-up. MaxTan celebrates 29 years with you. With 4 Lincoln locations, take your tan to the max at MaxTan.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at freedmanlaw.com today.
It's the weekend. Do you know where your kids are? The dangers of alcohol, marijuana, and other controlled substances are bad enough. They become even worse when teens get behind the wheel or catch a ride with an impaired driver. Parents, it's time to start what could be a life-saving conversation with your kids about the dangers of underage drinking and drug use. Learn more at coalitionrx.org. Paid for by federal grant dollars through Nebraska DHHS and Region 6 Behavioral Healthcare. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
The Salt Dogs are back with the best lineup for a night out in Lincoln, including Fireworks Fridays. Every weekend homestand at Haymarket Park begins with baseball and post-game fireworks set to your favorite music. Baseball, a big light show, and the best view in town? There's no better place to be on a summer night in Lincoln. Lead off your weekend the right way with Fireworks Fridays. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny skies, hot conditions here for our Wednesday, topping out at 94, and it will be a little windy. South winds could gust to around 30. Overnight, a few passing clouds, a low down to around 70. It will be hot again tomorrow with a high up to around 95. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay. This will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
It is time for a shootout with Strick here on the block, and we have Braden on the Honda of Lincoln hotline ready to challenge Strick. Braden, you a big Elite 11 guy? Have you paid attention to the Elite 11 over the years? Are you there, Braden?
Ooh, forfeit. No.
I don't think you're there, Braden. We're going to have to hang up on you.
No.
Yeah,
Forfeit for the ticket.
That's not a forfeit. We've got other people calling in. We'll try to get some other people here.
No,
maybe Braden will call back.
forfeit for the chicken.
You don't get to bring the chicken.
It's a time schedule, man. We're on a timetable. It's a crunch, my
That's all right. We got somebody else in here. They've been studying. They're out there studying the Elite 11 is what's going on here. It's Kent. Kent, are you a big college football fan? Did you pay attention to the Elite 11 the last couple of years?
Not really, no.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Either way, it's either or question, so you've got a pretty good chance here.
Well, me neither. Shoot.
Yeah.
So we're at the same level.
You have to be a pretty hardcore recruiter or recruiting fan to pay too much
attention. I'm a great recruiter.
11. You're a great recruiter. Yeah. Well, there is that. All right, Kent, we'll put you on hold here for a second, and we'll figure out what score you have to top Strick with. Strick, are you ready to go? I got to turn the music down a little bit.
Stricky's ready.
All right, we will go in 3, 2, and 1. 2000 MVP Brody Coyle went to this school, Alabama or Auburn?
Auburn.
It was actually Alabama. 2004 MVP and USC quarterback Mark Sanchez would lead this NFL team to the AFC Championship in his second season. Jets or Broncos?
Jets.
That's correct. 2007 MVP Blaine Gabbert recently won a Super Bowl with this team. Seahawks or Buccaneers?
Seahawks.
It's actually the Bucs. 2013 MVP Sean White would beat out this Clemson national champion Taj Boyd or Deshaun Watson.
Sean Watson.
That's correct. And this Georgia MVP or quarterback and now Rams Super Bowl champion was the 2005.
Stafford.
That's correct. So 4 points. Long worded questions today. So I don't know how we got through that, but thankfully you knew where that was going. 4 points. Pretty good showing from Strick. All right, Kent, you got to answer these. You may not know them. Just answer them quickly because it's either or. So you have a pretty good chance here. Are you ready?
Was the clock running down?
It was. Yeah, you got that.
Clock
at the end
me
there.
out.
Are you ready, Kent?
Yep.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. 2002 MVP Kyle Wright went to this school, Miami or Florida State?
Florida State.
It's actually Miami. 2006 MVP John Brantley would end up joining a stacked quarterback room at this SEC school, Florida or Auburn?
Florida.
That is correct. 2008 MVP Aaron Murray would appear on this reality TV show after his NFL career, The Bachelorette or America's Got Talent?
America's Got Talent.
It's actually The Bachelorette. Surprisingly, this Ohio State quarterback would beat out Trevor Lawrence in 2017. Cardell Jones or Justin Fields?
Jones.
It's actually Fields, and despite losing we're not going to have time to get it. Ultimately, just 1 point for you, Kent. That's not going to beat Strick. Long-worded questions, but we tried to get them out there. Thanks for joining us today, Kent. And don't worry, even though you did not win the shootout, you still have a chance to win chickens just like everybody else out there because Strick plays for the people. Caller number 3 right now, 402-464-5685. We'll get $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. And that includes you, Kent, if you want to call back in as well. But Strick,
you know what it is.
Yeah, you deserve something here.
Finish him. Flawless victory.
You know what it is.
So congratulations to Strick.
LER.
Win. Nate's got something to say.
Buck, you got to be quicker with these questions, man. You're throwing Kent under the bus.
These are long worded. You got like two sentences.
I would have been able to get those out in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You could have just said 2002 MVP Kyle Wright, Miami or Florida State.
Well, I'll say this.
You got to give people the everything about
You're
it.
like Aaron Murray would play at Georgia for 4 years before going on to be a reality TV show.
No. I said 2008 MVP Aaron Murray would appear on this reality TV show.
Oh.
What is this?
You can take out the after his NFL career.
But what is this? Surprisingly. Why is it surprising that Justin Fields beat out Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence was the top-rated recruit in the past 10 years.
And then you just throw out John Brantley would join a stacked quarterback room at this SEC school.
I got to give people some. Well, I got to help the listeners out because these are very difficult questions. So I got to give them some context.
I liked it. It's hard to get all those words out.
Maybe you should have just gone no time frame.
Yeah, maybe this time we should have went no time frame. Maybe longer worded questions.
As strict as Moneyball. I wonder if he knows it.
All right, Moneyball question. Anything else there, Nate, or you're just
I wanted to ask him
criticizing
the Moneyball. The Moneyball and the tiebreaker. I'm curious to see how he does.
All right, Moneyball here. You already got that one. So here's the other one. Despite losing the Elite 11 MVP in 2005, would go on to win the Heisman and 2 national championships at Florida. That was going to be the
T-Bowl, man.
Yeah, that was going to be the question.
Come on, bro.
And then the other one is Caleb Williams is the most recent Elite 11 MVPs. How many touchdowns did he throw last year at Oklahoma?
35.
It would have. He might have had a chance there because it's well under that 21. Remember, Spencer Rattler started for like half the year.
That's right.
So he was like in a second half of the year went on a tear. But yeah, you got the win either way. So don't feel too bad.
Hey, I'm a winner.
That's right. You're a winner today.
All I do is win, no matter what, LER. I know you listening.
And thanks to you, Eric. Somebody's going home with some chickens. I don't know who it is. We'll maybe find out around the break. We got a stacked hour coming up for you here at 5 o'clock. We'll take a quick break. Be right back here on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Don't wait for the Lincoln fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff now at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. Roca Crazy Cracker fireworks in downtown Roca. Guys, let me tell you about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. I did their 10-week challenge and I lost 36 pounds. I got stronger, I got fitter, I got healthier. Their proven method combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition, and personalized coaching to set you up for success. The only thing you need to be asking is, why didn't I do this 10 weeks ago? The next challenge begins on July 9th, and you can join for half off by mentioning the ticket. Head to fxblincoln.com to learn more and join the 10-week challenge with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping for 50% off.
Hey, it's Kinsey Nicholas from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice or when I'm working out, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, smoke detectors, lighting, and ceiling fans, and more. They take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 and learn more at highelectric.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Pillar Restaurant Group is proud to announce the full opening of our brick-and-mortar venue-at-home store, Lincoln's new premier specialty grocers. This store is home to our brand new Butchery by Venue. Get the finest Nebraska steaks, hand-cut in-house by our butcher, prepared for our restaurants, and available for you to take home. With hand-selected specialty seafood, charcuterie, wine, bourbon, and liquor options. Come in today to see what we have to offer at 70th and Pioneers in the Pioneer Woods Shopping Center. Open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
It's the weekend. Do you know where your kids are? The dangers of alcohol, marijuana, and other controlled substances are bad enough. They become even worse when teens get behind the wheel or catch a ride with an impaired driver. Parents, it's time to start what could be a life-saving conversation with your kids about the dangers of underage drinking and drug use. Learn more at coalitionrx.org. Paid for by federal grant dollars through Nebraska DHHS and Region 6 Behavioral Healthcare. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Ortega connoisseur, Jake Bakoven.
I like Ortega and I like pepper.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bob. Hold up.
I'll Welcome back on the block. It is E. Strick, Jake Bakoven, and Nate Doggy Dog. It's a trio in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Right here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We had a hot block of text line information that's popping off on there. Right. And my guy, my partner, Bakoven, the Boxster, is about to let us know what's going on the hot block.
Yeah, it's just I think we should go back to what we were asking about a half an hour ago about which 3 teams in the NFL you would not want to be at if you're a quarterback. Basically, what are the dungeon franchises for developing quarterbacks here? And you guys had some good response. So I wanted to get to that. Simba texted in. It said Jacksonville, Miami, and Cleveland.
Ooh,
Miami's interesting.
Miami's interesting.
Yeah. You didn't like what they did with Ryan Tannehill there for a few years?
I was about to say, Ryan Tannehill's a good example there.
But when you really think about it, you have to go all the way back to Marino.
Yeah.
When you really look
that's
at
a good
it.
point, yeah.
Great point. I didn't think about that. And see, that goes back to the thing
Chad
that we
Pennington.
talked about real quick.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah, that goes back to what we talked about again. Like, how is it that Miami and Orlando and Phoenix and these type of places are, other than the Cowboys, are not destination cities?
Especially Miami, though. I think about that and everything. And it's maybe because it's not as much of a sports town because there's too much to do there. But it's basically...
It's very transient town. So it's very New York people.
But it's awesome. It's like the best city ever.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
And same thing for baseball. It's like, you guys kidding me? But anyway, go ahead. Next.
Also, Ohio Husker has Detroit, Jacksonville, and the Jets.
I was going to say Detroit.
Yeah.
I was going to say Detroit.
Joey
Jacksonville is
Harrington.
definitely so the commonality right now has been Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville
obviously,
twice.
but
here.
the Jets,
2 votes.
very good.
Yeah, good point.
Say what you will, though. The Jets, or not the Jets, the Jaguars did have Blake Bortles, who was a Pro Bowler and went to the AFC Championship.
Don't throw out that Pro Bowl stuff.
My
Blake
God.
Bortles,
Hey, Blake
was
Bortles
not
is a Pro Bowler.
success
Who was the
at
lefty
that.
there
whoa,
too
whoa.
for a while?
Byron Leftwich. Was
No,
good.
left,
I
not that
like
lefty.
Byron Leftwich.
The left-handed quarterback that was there.
Chad Henne?
I don't know who's
Gosh,
left. Mark
dang it.
Brunell?
Mark Brunell.
Oh, Mark
Was it
Brunell.
Mark
Okay,
Brunell
yeah.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really a backup, but he.
This is like at the
was good,
beginning
though.
of the Jacksonville franchise, but that's
Yeah.
about the best.
Well,
I've had
what do you
from
think
him.
about the Jets? Testaverde, wasn't he?
Yeah, Vinny. He was like 38-year-old.
The
Vinny
Sanchez
Testaverde.
went to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, he probably made a Pro Bowl too. You
Why
wanna
you
argue
give
with
me
that?
that
What
look,
happened?
Strick?
What happened? You didn't see that on the streamline. If you would have seen it, maybe you could.
The
say something.
Sanchez.
There's no receipts on that.
Bubba texts in. He says Jacksonville, Jets, and Cleveland. So a few commonalities there.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland is a good
Cleveland's a
I
common.
think Cleveland's the number
Kool-Aid
one.
lists
Cincinnati's
the
not
Browns.
in
The
there.
Browns and
The
the
only
Browns.
reason you're not saying Cincinnati right now on the block, listeners, is because of Joe Burrow.
And
That's the only reason.
Carson Palmer.
The Red
Slinger.
Rifle does not deserve
Andy
that
Dalton.
kind of disrespect.
Palmer.
Carson
Palmer was nice too.
Achilles Smith.
You talking about?
Slow down on Achilles
So
Smith.
you're talking about Dalton, Andy Dalton.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
yeah.
He went to the playoffs. What?
I
4
like
straight
Dalton.
years in a
Yeah,
row?
okay. I'm not fighting him. Okay, you're right.
And then somebody else texted in, definitely the Bears all time, and they've never had a great quarterback. And then the Browns and Jaguars. So those
The Bears really have never had a good quarterback.
I'm really
No.
the only reason you're not saying Phoenix right now is because of
Kyler Murray.
no, Kurt Warner.
Oh, Kurt Warner, yeah.
Kurt Warner was
big Jake
good.
Plummer guy myself, but he
You're a
wasn't,
Jake
he wasn't
Plummer.
great.
Didn't
yeah.
they have Matt
Come
Leinart
on.
for a little bit
Yeah, yeah.
The Plummer, a lifetime backup who just happened to fall into the lead role.
Matt Leinart took him to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
No,
gosh.
no.
I thought
You're
he did.
misremembering that.
Oh,
Matt Leinart, they basically brought Kurt Warner in to be the veteran to
Yeah.
teach Matt Leinart, and Kurt just took his job.
Yeah,
So this guy's
basically,
got no chance.
negative.
Because Matt Leinart, when
Kurt
he
Warner
got,
was old then. Too.
he was. But when Matt Leinart got drafted, he showed up to those Arizona State parties, which
Nick, give me some Houston. I mean, I got to go back to Warren Moon. Warren Moon.
oh yeah,
Who else after
Houston?
that though?
Houston. Matt Schaub. Why are you guys are so disrespectful to somebody? Matt Schaub went to the playoffs.
Moon,
Matt Schaub has like a 3-year period where he's like the 12th best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, exactly. No, Matt Schaub was good. Tom Savage.
Oh gosh, we need to kick him off the block.
Sways, when you I want to read Sways because he gives us like 2 to 3 paragraphs, but I can't I don't know if everything he says should go on air, so it would take like an editor. I need an editor to run through this. But thanks for chiming in. Maybe we'll read it during the break and come
Worst
back.
Place to go is Washington. Texter says
they haven't had a good quarterback in some time.
Joe Theismann.
Kirk Cousins is elite.
No, and they didn't want to start him no longer.
I think you're just a prognosticator. What do you call him?
Listen,
prognosticator.
Say
or
what
whatever?
you will about Kirk Cousins, but he led him to the playoffs, and they never had a very good roster.
Yeah.
What about RG3? He was the best.
RG3 led him to
and
the
he got
playoffs
hurt.
too,
Unfortunately, no, RG3 was good. Some people said that RG3 should have been drafted over Andrew Luck, which that's blasphemy.
That's
but
blasphemy.
That is blasphemy. But he did lead him to the playoffs. Matt Schaub probably is the all-time NFL leader in pick sixes. Matt Schaub was nice, and I'm saying this. And he went to Virginia, so I hate Matt Schaub. But Matt Schaub was pretty good.
He was okay for a while. Yeah.
He was pretty good.
I would give him an okay for a while.
Probably a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
Jameis Winston's the best ever down there. Down in New Orleans, the best. The only reason you don't say Tampa, because real talk, is because Brady's there now.
Tampa went through a draft.
Tampa is
He did.
Whenever you have to wear bags on your head with tears, you were bad.
How about the Panthers?
Yeah, that's a good. Somebody
Jake
should
Delhomme?
time that in.
Panthers.
Besides Cam Newton,
Cam
Jake
Newton had
Delhomme
like
got him
2
to the
good
Super Bowl.
seasons. Like that's
This really is a doldrum.
Yeah.
Panthers.
There's
are
a lot
doldrum.
there's a lot of places that it's tough to get a quarterback going. It shows you how hard it is to be a quarterback in the NFL. It's much because other than Nate, most people will crap on half of them that do okay.
So
I'm a big fan of okay quarterbacks.
Well, the Tennessee Titans got to be in there now because they
Tannehill's
came from
pretty
the
good.
Warriors.
Tannehill's pretty
Steve
good.
McNair, Aaron McNair back.
Oh
in the day
yeah,
was awesome.
Steve
He was
McNair.
an MVP.
He was the guy. Yeah, I like it.
Josh says Buffalo after Kelly was for a long time. They had their drought. Now they're good, obviously, with Josh
Well,
Allen.
now is until they got Russell Wilson was the Broncos. The Broncos had a stretch where they could not find a
That's
quarterback.
blasphemous when you had Elway there.
No, I'm saying after
Elway,
Elway,
Manning.
but
They
between
go through
Elway
their
and Manning,
breaks,
there was
yeah.
no one, and then between Manning and Wilson, there was Trevor Siemian. Good point. Trevor Siemian was pretty good there for a while.
Pro Bowler. Pro Bowler.
Trevor Siemian was a Pro Bowler.
I know all
Bob.
these guys went to the Pro Bowl because nobody wants to go to the Pro Bowl anymore, and so they pass up.
See,
on it.
Texter says it after John Elway, the Broncos rented Peyton. Well, they didn't rent him for one season. Peyton, I think, was with the Broncos
few
for
seasons,
4
but,
and
yeah.
won an MVP.
He
But when
lit
they
it up
won the
there,
Super
yeah.
Bowl, he was a shell. It was basically Brock Osweiler's team, another very mediocre quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him mediocre. He was
Well,
bad.
I mean, the
He got a
worst,
lot
the
of
worst
money.
NFL team in history is Green Bay. Their quarterbacks always suck.
They're like the complete opposite of this list.
I know, right?
They just get a Hall of
Just
Famer
get
for
a-
20
every
Theirs
years.
is more
Yeah.
luck, though, because now, that's what's going to be interesting when Aaron Rodgers leaves. Then what do you do?
Well,
Jordan
they'll probably
Love?
get the next guy.
Love is that guy.
I don't know if Love
For
is.
sure.
How about Baltimore?
I'm the
Baltimore, the
procrastinator,
Ravens
whatever you
before
call
they
it.
got Lamar.
Joe Flacco's a Hall of Famer.
Joe
Relax.
Flacco was elite. That's true.
Thank you.
I forgot about
appreciate
elite
that.
Joe Flacco.
That was a very weird time. What was that? 2013. Where it was like Joe Flacco might be the best quarterback
Before
in the NFL. I was
Flacco,
like,
that's what I
maybe
was
not.
thinking is because they had Trent Dilfer win a title for him somehow.
Trent Dilfer
But
did win
before
a
that,
Super
they
Bowl.
had a big.
He was
big
just
gap
there.
there.
Though everybody other than Lamar Jackson that has gone there has been basic, just because their defense has always
historically
been
been
super
great,
elite.
yeah.
So they just manage the game. That's all they've really been. They've been basically like Georgia. If you want to make a reference to what Baltimore's been, look to Georgia because that's what they had other than Stafford. Talk to me.
We usually have this
Detroit?
this signal.
No, I'm talking about Baltimore is basically, if you're a quarterback, you're like Georgia. You just got to manage the game. Your defense is super elite. You just got to manage the game.
Yeah, it was for years.
Yeah,
That's
Jake,
what
Jake
that's what-
Fromm. I mean, Jake Fromm was pretty good.
You going back to Georgia? now.
My
No, that's what
goodness.
Strick is saying. Georgia.
I was making a correlation.
But he
as
was talking
to
about the Ravens.
the
more or less.
Ravens.
Yeah.
that's what Ravens quarterbacks have basically been, like a Georgia quarterback.
Wasn't Aaron Murray like
Georgia's actually has
Aaron Murray
Matt
was
Stafford,
really good.
David Green,
I said
Aaron
Stafford.
Murray. Back in the day, they've had some guys though. DJ Shockley I brought in earlier.
DJ Shockley is like what's his name? DJ Ungugliele over at Clemson.
How dare you? DJ Shockley was one of my favorite
Listen,
players growing up.
Eric, I don't love mediocre quarterback play. I love mediocre quarterbacks that win Super Bowls. Like Joe Flacco
like
winning a
Eli
Super Bowl.
Manning.
Eli Manning,
Perfect.
yeah.
And Eli Manning's a Hall of
Freaking
Famer.
unbelievable.
Oh, I love it. Give me more of that.
Usually, I mean, we do have a sounder. I don't know where it is when we get a text that probably isn't meant for us. I'll read this real quick. It says, in 30, maybe I'll come get some of my own. I don't know what that means, but it comes along with a winky face, and it's nothing we've been talking about. So I don't know what's happening there, but I think that's a text for somebody else.
Swayze says Detroit, and I'd probably have to agree with him.
I would agree.
I'd say it's Detroit or Cleveland. Because Cleveland's the one that started that you tape your jersey every time they have a new quarterback. And then you get down to Baker Mayfield, and it's like 15 names in a 15-year stretch or something.
I think Cleveland's got to be at the top, and I think Jacksonville. I think those are the common ones that are there. And then pick your poison.
Detroit's weird because
no, because they had
Matt Stafford's for so long, but he almost like proved the point that Detroit's awful for quarterbacks by going out and win. Like he 1 year away from Detroit, and the only good Detroit quarterback that they've had since. Well, the only great quarterback they've ever had goes off and wins an MVP, or excuse me, a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Have they had another good quarterback? It's hard to think of another good Detroit quarterback.
Detroit?
Yeah.
Joey Harrington was supposed to be the
He was
truth.
not
That
good,
didn't work out.
That didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oregon quarterbacks.
I can't even think of
Rodney
You're right.
Peele? I don't know.
I think you're absolutely Rodney
It's
Peele.
actually a pretty good
Yeah.
quarterback.
No.
Jared Goff. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl. Mediocre quarterback who almost won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
But it's because the defense was so elite.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to either have that. If you're going to have a mediocre quarterback, you've got to be elite in some category. You know what I mean? And usually it's got to be on the defensive side. And that's the trade-off that some teams are going with.
Jimmy G.
We did this on the block.
Yeah.
That's why you got to come to the block, because the block is hot. And the reason being is we talked about this on the block where we talked about I think it was when you filled in. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we talked about the fact that it is hard once the quarterback gets the bag to win in the NFL. You have to do it with an elite college style quarterback that transition in above average to elite. And he plays that way with everything that he's surrounded by
during his rookie
contract years. That's the way that you win it, and that's why you're able to solidify a Legion of Boom or something like that to be able to do something.
Pat
amazing.
Mahomes before he got paid.
Yeah, their defense.
And then he got paid, and then now
elite.
they haven't been
Now
back. to the
Tyreek
Super
Hill's
Bowl.
gone, but I mean he still was pretty good. What do you think? Do you guys see a big drop off without Tyreek for Pat or no?
Facts.
Yeah.
Stretch. Yes. Watch Kelsey's production this year.
I don't know. The only thing is you added kind of a 2-for-1. So you got Valdez, Scantling, and
He doesn't get over it.
Smith-Schuster.
He gets deep,
two.
but he don't stretch it like Tyreek.
But you get two serviceable, if not good, receivers in place of, yes, a great one.
The fastest one in the league.
But you're still able to spread the field now because you have Juju and Valdez Scantling.
I don't know.
I think Juju's so tied up in TikTok that he don't want to play no.
He hasn't had a good season the last couple of years either.
Yeah,
at least up to his standards.
Yeah, him and Mahomes should not Jackie Mahomes. Oh, Jack, whatever.
Yeah, what's his brother's name?
Yeah,
Jackson Mahomes.
Jackson Mahomes. Yeah, they need to collab. They need to collab.
They also still have McCole Hardman, which is, I mean,
he gets over the top.
He's fast.
But think about you got two guys that get over the
Tyreek
top.
Hill.
It leaves a lot of field for Kelsey. That's going to be the key. Watch Kelsey's production this year. If his production drops, Kansas City's in trouble. If his production is elevated, they got to change.
Well, let's see if their defense rode quite a wave last.
Well, they don't know if
season.
they couldn't keep the honey badger.
Gone, yeah.
They couldn't keep that. So it's going to be interesting what they can put together on the defense as well. Were they able to bring something up or bring something internal that can transition over?
When you guys too were talking about the bigger contracts that hinder you, Aaron Rodgers hasn't had a successful playoffs in quite some time.
Yeah.
I
Now
mean,
he's losing his best weapon in Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
What are they going to do in Green Bay? They don't have a running game. You know, they haven't had a running game.
Whoa. Aaron Jones was second team All-Pro a couple years ago.
I still don't think he's.
And A.J. Dillon is one of,
That's
if
just
not
because
the
they could
best
pass.
backups in the NFL.
Their running game was built on the fact that they could pass. Their running game was
A.J. Dillon, I think, is more of your pure up-middle running back. A.J. Dillon is
Watch
good.
it. Let's watch it this year.
I know,
Let's
we
keep
should.
an eye on
Because I honestly, I think the Packers probably have the best running back duo in the NFL.
Wow.
Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
Sutter Heyman text line. Was this just a blasphemous comment?
I'm telling you.
Words that was spoken from Nate Doggy Dog at 24645. Let us know. But anyway, let's get to this because I wanted to I really wanted to talk to you about this because you have a baseball mind.
Oh yeah.
So listen, something that just kind of was itching me is Mike Trout, I think, when it all said and done, will ultimately be one of the best baseball players to ever play the game up there.
Yeah.
So he's been in trouble a lot, not trouble as far as getting into trouble, but he's been in trouble because he hasn't really had anybody around him. So they bring Ohani in, and Ohani is another guy that's elite at that level.
MVP.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they've got two significant pieces. But I don't know if it's their pitching or what it is, but he's only had one playoff that they've gotten to, and Ohani's 0. And it dumbfounds me that those type of elite players at their peaks are not able to get to the elite games. Then now the word out there is he's able to understand that his pitchers are tipping batters. Is this a woo? Is it one of those? Is it one of those type of things going on? You know, angels? Is it a falling angel moment? Is there some woo going on? Or is it just they're cursed?
I think that I don't think it's a curse. When you look at the Angels and who they've paid since Mike Trout has been in the league, his number 2 guy was supposed to be Albert Pujols. Horrible contract. Horrendous. So the Angels, you're not the Dodgers. You're not the Yankees. You're not the Cubs. Well, the Cubs not recently. You don't have the money to pay these guys. So you have to pick and choose very, very carefully. You paid Albert Pujols. That worked out terribly. Okay, you move on. Finally, you wipe your hands with the Cardinals. I think they're still paying some of that contract. Your next great idea was Anthony Rendon, who in the past 3 seasons hasn't played 162 games. So now you're paying Anthony Rendon, who, by the way, I've talked to you about this, Strict, is top 25 all-time in professional athlete contracts. All time. Wow. Anthony Rendon, a one-time All-Star. Yes, he won a World Series with the Nationals. You can't give a guy that much money to not have him on the field. So that's what's screwing you is because you're the Angels. If you're the Dodgers, you can just keep paying guys. I mean, that's what they did. I'm pretty sure they ended up paying Max Muncy. He doesn't even see the field anymore. You can't do that if you're the Angels. If you're giving a guy $250 million, he has to be on the field, and he hasn't been. And I think that's their main problem, really.
Well, and I mean, we're going to see it come up again because when you look at what they've got coming up in the next couple of years, they're probably, and I don't know, maybe they will throw out the money, but they haven't been a team that historically does. Shohei Ohtani makes $4 million a year. I mean, he is not.
That's insane.
He's not a well-paid man, and they are not ones that like you said, give open checks out to people.
And when they do, it goes terribly.
Yeah, and they've got, like you said, 2 guys on the payroll that have large contracts. The only other one, Rafael Iglesias, has a 4-year for $58 million. That's a big drop off from the 7-year, $245 million Rendon has. And of course, Trout has $426 million in 12 years. So he's going to stay with the Angels. But it's been, I mean, he's 30 years old now, which is somewhat young in baseball terms, but still. He's been around for a long time. I don't see it getting much better because I think Ohtani's probably going to leave. Somebody's going to pay a lot.
Because you're paying Rendon all that money.
Yeah.
Who? Let's talk about that because I think there's going to come a point in time where Trout you can see the frustrations already mounting. Right? There's going to be a time where he's just going to want out. Where could you see him going if he decides to get out?
He'll go to the Phillies.
You think he'll go to the Phillies?
Because he's from the area. I
know
know
Boston,
when
no
he
New
was
York.
Well, when he was trying to enter free agency or whatever it was, there was a lot of rumors that it was from Philly fans, but saying that he would go to the Phillies. I know that he knows the area. He's from there. If I had to guess, it'd be them because fan favorite. You have the money. That's what I guess. But you got to imagine if he went to a team like the Yankees, it's done. Like the Yankees are already the best team in baseball, and you add Mike Trout. I mean, it's over.
Do you think?
Done.
I mean, for a
Because
while
you can
there,
add his contract if
you're a team like the Yankees or Dodgers,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can play.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking, I wonder if would you do that, or would you be worried that Bryce Harper, ever since he went to the Phillies, remember at one time there was an argument, is Bryce Harper or Mike Trout the best, all-around player in the game? That's disappeared since he went to the
Trout
Phillies.
silenced that, for sure.
Well, no, Bryce Harper's also silenced
Right.
it. He hasn't made the All-Star game or an All-Star team or, kind of kept up with his Washington numbers since he's been in Philly.
I think he won an MVP or was like second or third in MVP. I think last season he brought it back, but he's so inconsistent is the problem. Mike Trout, you know that you're getting 40 home runs, 100 RBIs if he's healthy, straight up. I mean, and probably going to hit 300. Bryce Harper is one of the most inconsistent superstars, quote unquote, in baseball. Texter says Trout to Phillies next year, him and Bryce Harper would win the World Series.
Wow.
That's a bold claim, but I think they'd certainly be
relevant.
The best team in the NL East, which right now I would probably say it's the Mets, and then the Braves, and then the Phillies. The problem is you're playing in one of the best divisions in baseball. But yeah, I mean, that would certainly change things, to say the least.
ESPN did a list, by the way, of the best, I think it was like top 100 MLB players of all time. Where do you think Trout was listed on there?
What year was this done?
This was before this season.
Oh.
He's got to be in the top 20. I would venture to say 25 at least.
Yeah, I would say right outside. I'd say 22.
They have Trout, who, like we said, just 30 years old at 15 all time.
Wow.
And obviously room to move up. The only other modern day guys, or at least in my year that I could remember or that I saw listed above him, they had Greg Maddux at 14th, Ken Griffey Jr. at 13th, Pedro Martinez at 11th, and Barry Bonds at 8th. So if you're kind of thinking of
Barry Bonds at 8, man, that's crazy. And that's what we talked about, Strict. Like that's
the best baseball player
I know. That's disrespectful to have him at 8, but I
all
mean,
around too.
A lot of guys that are writing these articles are probably guys that also have votes in the Hall of Fame. So
before
that
it's
kind of
worth,
checks
like
out.
Babe Ruth. I mean, baseball has been around forever. So the Babe Ruth, the Joe DiMaggios, those guys were all kind of
Ty Cobbs.
Yeah, Ty Cobbs were taking over the top 15 there, but
and I think a
interesting.
lot of that stems from the purity of the game, right?
Yeah.
The further away you get, I think in when you look at this discussion, out of all the sports, maybe hockey can stay in this category. But I think the purest of those happens in baseball when you're able to go into the history, whereas basketball is who's present right now, who's getting it done now.
And it was split between two
You know what I'm
leagues
saying?
at the time. It was the ABA and the NBA, so
Yeah.
that's a big factor
Yeah,
too.
Well, and I mean, part of it's that football and basketball have changed so much, just the way that they're
The style of
played.
play.
Baseball's
Right.
stayed the
Same.
same, almost to a detriment to the
detriment.
sport.
Mhm.
Like people are less interested in it because
Right.
it stayed the same. But now they
what
got
could
rid of the
baseball do?
DH and
Real quick before
or
we
brought
got
in
here.
the DH, I should say.
Real quick question. What do you think could be Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. What could baseball do to enhance the game outside of the balls and the bats?
I was about to say juice the baseballs, juice the
Juice
hell
the
out
balls?
of baseballs, because that's what people want to see. They want to see home runs and they want to see balls hit really, really far. Outside of that,
Okay.
I don't like the shift. That might be the purest to me, like you said, Strick, but I don't think the shift really helps the game. But at the same time, you should be able to bunt it down the third base line if there's no one over there. I don't know. I think juicing the balls would be the first step.
Okay.
I hate to say it because the baseball purists will kill me, but softball games are awesome. You know why? They're 7 innings long. What you have a problem in baseball is how long the game is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of downtime. They're working on that in pitch clocks.
Right.
But I'm telling you, a 7-inning game, that puts pressure on the 5th inning in a way that isn't there in baseball right now. You know, those middle innings. That would completely ruin the statistics.
Reduce the innings.
And baseball, is so, thinks it's so important to keep those statistics the same. But if we're talking about football and basketball, which have changed so much over the years, and you're talking about changing baseball, that's what I'd go with first, is a 7-inning game.
As 007 says, and something that a bit controversial, but I've always said I'm okay with these, is steroids. But think
That
about
too.
like when baseball was at its
At its
peak,
peak.
Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds. What
And
was that?
Canseco.
And the peak of the steroid era. And I don't know if there would be some type of regulation, if there'd be certain steroids
John
that'd be
Kruk.
allowed or not, because they were taking HGH, testosterone.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they were taking some serious stuff, and I don't know if that's very good for players' health. But say what
It's
you
not
will,
good
that
for
was
it's not good for your wifey. I'm sorry. We're on the block. I mean, we keep it real on the block.
Yeah.
But we got to take a break. We got to get out of here. But you're on the block, and you can join us every day, 4 to 6, right here, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. I'm E Strick. That's Nate Dogg, and that is Jake Bakovic. Nate Dogg, Jake Bakovic. We'll be back right after this.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at healthresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy 4th of July weekend. We are thankful for this great nation and celebrate our independence, which should never be taken for granted. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Sunny skies, hot conditions here for our Wednesday, topping out at 94, and it will be a little windy. South winds could gust to around 30. Overnight, a few passing clouds, a low down to around 70. It will be hot again tomorrow with a high up to around 95. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Guys, let me tell you about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. I did their 10-week challenge, and I lost 36 pounds. I got stronger, I got fitter, I got healthier. Their proven method combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition, and personalized coaching to set you up for success. The only thing you need to be asking is, why didn't I do this 10 weeks ago? The next challenge begins on July 9th, and you can join for half off by mentioning The Ticket. Head to fxblincoln.com to learn more and join the 10-week challenge with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping for 50% off. On-Time Transport in Lincoln says, stay safe this Independence Day by keeping parties off of our roads. Avoid talking, texting, and speeding, and don't forget, buzz driving is still driving under the influence and can lead to trouble or grief. This safety message from On-Time Transport. For more information, call 402-328-9082 or visit them online at ottlincoln.com. On-Time Transport, reminding you that when you're behind the wheel, let's give our truckers some room on the road and have a safe, happy July 4th holiday. Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Because the block is hot. The block is hot. Yeah, E-Strick here. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. You are on the block. Great conversation on that last segment right there, man. That was pretty good stuff, man. Thanks for the texters that are texting in, all of those that are reaching out, reaching back, letting us know how you feel, how you think. We're appreciative of that because we love to talk to you as you love to talk to us. And so it's a great communication platform to be able to get on the text line and holler at us about what you think, how you see it, and if we're talking crazy or not. Because there were some blasphemous conversations. Some communication that came out of Nate Dogg over there. I almost had to kick him out of the block because it was very, very blasphemous stuff that was coming out. But we're going to move on and talk a little bit more. Where are we going to go right now? We're going to talk a little bit about your boy Jalen.
Jalen Brunson, yeah.
Yeah, my boy Jalen Brunson. I mean, listen, I'm a Mavericks guy. Long, MLLF. Mavericks, no, MFFL. There you go. I was all off. MFFL. I'm a Mavs fan for life.
There you are, yeah.
So, and Jalen Brunson, he did a wonderful job. He, playing alongside of Luka Doncic. To me, Jalen looked very much like, I want to say, what's my guy from I came into the NBA with him too. With the Lakers, left-handed. Came in with Kobe and I.
Derek Fisher?
Derek Fisher.
There it is. Yeah, Derek Fisher.
Man, sometimes when I get on the block, I'm glad it's not Thirsty Thursday, because if it was Thirsty Thursday, I really wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Derek Fisher.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
So he's very much, to me, like Derek Fisher, was able to, alongside a superstar, to figure out how to, make it happen, how to get it done, how to put up some numbers. And, he got into his bag, but I think when it ultimately came down to it, scouting report caught up with him, and he just wasn't able to get over the hump. So the question being is, the sound out there, the rumor mill, the alleged communications that are being put out there is that it looks as if the Knicks are going to make a move potentially in a sign and trade where they give up first round pick in Jalen Duren, point guard Kemba Walker, who they may even just release. I just can't see Kemba Walker, who is one of those pat guys.
Well, these are just moves that they've made to clear space.
So they've already got rid of. They've already moved it.
They've already traded Jalen Duran, got rid of, and Kemba Walker, who remember they decided to bench him because he just wasn't fitting in with the team. So he
to clear the space.
Yeah, but they got rid of Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks,
who were Dallas. Well, both of them were Dallas guys. Weren't they?
Or Knicks guys.
Knicks guys. Well, Noel played with Dallas.
He did before, yeah.
And no, not Alex Burks. I'm thinking about Trey Burks. But go ahead.
So it's just the Knicks are giving up a lot, or maybe not a lot, but Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks.
You don't think they can go anywhere with that?
We're part of it, and you're giving up Jalen Duran, all so that you can sign Jalen Brunson for 4 years, $110 million. Is the reported deal if he's going to get a max there? And it's the Knicks. I mean, they've for years have been there. They feel like they're the destination city, and they've been kind of left out of that, right?
I think Brooklyn's kind of passed them up.
Yeah, and Brooklyn did. I mean,
the mystique of the Madison Square Garden is like over. Like they would do a better service of tearing it down and rebuilding it at this point.
But still, all of that combined to get Jalen Brunson as your big lead guy. He's not an all-star. He had one good playoff run.
They've continued to operate in mediocrity ever since the big team of Allen Houston, Charlie Ward,
Charles
Sprewell,
Yeah.
Trill Sprewell, Larry Johnson, Marcus Camby, and my guy Chris Childs.
Yeah.
Ever since that team was amassed and put together, I really think that
they got Melo there. That
Yeah,
was
they
their big
did.
hope, but that's been the only one, really.
Yeah, really. They haven't
Amari
really
Stoudemire, obviously, with that trade. That was their big get together, but
didn't work out.
I
mean, they got him there, but
Playoffs
just couldn't
here
get
and there,
through.
yeah.
Couldn't bounce anybody out.
But Jalen Brunson can't be your answer. I'm sorry. I don't even know, because it doesn't make sense. Because usually, if you're the Knicks, even if you're, I guess part of the deal there is at least sell tickets. I don't think Jalen Brunson
Is it a
sells
ticket
tickets.
draw? I agree. Okay, let's talk about it. Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Here's my thought. I want to know what your thought is, because I always love the communication, because you help me to stay grounded. To me, this signing is very reminiscent of Isaiah Thomas. Really solid, did well in Boston, was, up there balling out of control, and just never was able to duplicate. That's what I can see. I just don't know if they make that sign. I think it kind of becomes Kemba Walker-ish.
Yeah.
And you've already done that. Like, you're going back and doing it again. Like it's
for
like
a bigger contract for some reason.
Yeah, it's like insanity.
Yeah.
Duplicating and doing a thing over and over again only to get the same result. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, I'm glad you brought Isaiah Thomas, because that's part of the fear here to me too. Is and don't get me wrong, Jalen Brunson's one of my favorite college basketball players of all time, because he stayed at Villanova, won 2 titles. I mean, so I'm a big Jalen Brunson fan. But he is diminutive in status or stature, and when you operate the way he does, he's not a small guy that just hits threes and plays between the 3-point line. He goes to the hoop hard. He takes hits, and he's good at it. But similar to Isaiah Thomas, if you get in the land of big boys that can take all those shots going to the rim all the time, it might catch up to you, and you might have a shorter career than you want it to be, at least at that level. And that is what happened to Isaiah Thomas. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen to Jalen Brunson, but that's an additional concern, I suppose, with him. It added to the fact that you're giving him max money, you're giving him all-star level money to be that guy, and it just, I don't know. It's just one of those scenarios.
Can he get you 24 or can he get you even 21 to 24 points a game?
Yeah, I don't know.
A game like 82
throughout a
games.
regular season,
Yes.
Yeah. Not just get hot during the playoffs here.
Right.
With Doncic doing most of the work.
Knowing that he's the focal. So
Yeah.
you go from being, to me, on that Dallas team, Jalen Brunson was maybe second, third guy.
Yeah.
Because if Hardaway was around,
If Tim Hardaway Jr. was there, he'd
could've
be
been
the third guy. Yeah.
right? So that's the way I view it too.
And
So
Spencer Dinwiddie, when he went off,
right.
at
So
times,
really, Dinwiddie to me at times could have
Yeah.
been that.
They
They
kinda
were
traded
kind of
off.
trade off,
Yeah.
right? So you're 2A, 2B. Okay. So when I look at this situation, then I look at it from the same standpoint. I look at it from the standpoint, you're now the guy on the scouting point or on the scouting report that they're saying him. Your game plan for, because there's no one on that New York Knicks team to me that is worth game planning for. You just say, I mean, not even your boy, the left-handed guy from Duke. What's his name?
Oh yeah, RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett. Not even Barrett to me. Very still mediocre. Like every now and then shows up. So to me, Barrett's 2-3 on that team. So is he that guy? 20, 21 to 24 a game?
I don't.
Or do they even have the backups to have him be 18, 19, where you're getting 4 guys at 15, 14, 10, and another 17?
And Tom Thibodeau, as we know, is going to run him into the ground to begin with. So
yeah, with defense.
Yeah, and just minutes. He plays his
Oh,
starters like crazy. So I don't know. It just reminds me, and it's so much money, and it's like they're trying to get their number 3 before, part of your big 3 is like get your 3, but he's a questionable 3, but make sure you get him and lock him in. It just doesn't make any sense. It reminds me of the Westbrook stuff to the Lakers, right? Where there's been these rumors there was a lot of rumors around Westbrook to the Lakers, and then we all just kind of thought, yeah, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's the same case here. Brunson isn't officially in with the Knicks, but there's a lot of rumors in there, and if it ends up, you're just going, no. Like everybody, not I give respect to GMs and scouts and all that stuff that goes into it. But when like 99% of the nation goes, I don't get it, I don't see it, maybe you're trying to outthink the room. And I think that's what's going on with the Knicks here.
Yeah, the franchise has been in trouble for quite a while now. And they've been trying to do things. I think one of their best shots was with Porzingis, but Porzingis just didn't have the heart to me to take them to the next level. I think Porzingis is a tremendous talent, but if you watch what he's doing
on draft day, so
you watch what he's doing in Washington right now, it's the same stuff.
Yeah, Washington also had a trade I wanted to ask you about. Today, obviously smaller level players here, but it's somewhat interesting with the Nuggets. The Nuggets traded Monte Morris and Wilt Barton, who have been part of their core for quite some time now, for KCP and Ish Smith. The interesting part of that for Ish Smith, if and when he does suit up for Denver this season, because he's been traded, Ish Smith will be having played with his 13th different NBA team. He's only 33 years old, but for his career, that'd be team number 13, which would break the record he currently shares with Joe Smith, Jim Jackson, Chucky Brown, and Tony Massenberg.
Ooh,
that's a lot of teams.
I played with Jim Jackson. I played with Joe Smith, and I played with Tony Massenberg. Who was the last one?
Chucky Brown.
I didn't play with Chuck Brown, but I did play with those other three. I played with three of those guys.
You're not alone. A lot of people played with a lot of those guys.
Massenberg in Vancouver, Joe Smith in Milwaukee, and Jim Jackson in Dallas.
That's really cool, though. Ish Smith has always been like the best third string point guard in the league, and that's why he gets traded around so much. Is because he's just like a great into the bench guy if you need him.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. I don't know if that's a distinction you want, but what do you think? I mean, you've played on several different teams. Did you like the journeyman aspect of it at times?
The greatest journeyman, I think, one of them of all time, and it's because he is the one that set off the reason why we have the rookie scale contracts. And his name, Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Who do you think this guy should be? But the one that set this off and in motion, it wasn't Joe Smith.
Oh, that's who I would have thought.
That's who you would have thought. It was actually Juwan Howard.
Oh, okay.
Juwan Howard sent the contracts through the roof when he got that $90 million contract with Washington. And everybody and their mama went to their agents and was like, yo, he got that. I need 110. And the contract started going through the roof. Yeah. Juwan Howard set it off for everybody. Who do you think is the one that set off the contracts, or who got the craziest contract right now that you're looking at like they must be boo-boo the fool? Sutter Heyman text line is open. We'll come back, maybe tap in a couple of those when we get back. We got to take a break right now on the Ticket on the Block, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Join the app, tap in on YouTube, hit the subscribe, and follow us and notifications so that you can find out when we're streaming right in a home near you. After this, we'll be right back to finish out the show. Peace.
On Time Transport in Lincoln says, stay safe this Independence Day by keeping parties off of our roads. Avoid talking, texting, and speeding. And don't forget, buzz driving is still driving under the influence and can lead to trouble or grief. This safety message from On Time Transport. For more information, call 402-328-9082 or visit them online at ottlincoln.com. On Time Transport, reminding you that when you're behind the wheel, let's give our truckers some room on the road and have a safe, happy July 4th holiday. Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Pillar Restaurant Group is proud to announce the full opening of our brick-and-mortar venue-at-home store, Lincoln's new premier specialty grocers. This store is home to our brand new Butchery by Venue. Get the finest Nebraska steaks, hand-cut in-house by our butcher, prepared for our restaurants, and available for you to take home. With hand-selected specialty seafood, charcuterie, wine, bourbon, and liquor options. Come in today to see what we have to offer at 70th and Pioneers in the Pioneer Woods Shopping Center. Open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy 4th of July weekend. We are thankful for this great nation and celebrate our independence, which should never be taken for granted. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Please enjoy these next few moments of relaxation from Scott and Greg at Mendoza Family Insurance. If you would like to feel this relaxed about your home, auto, business, life, or commercial property insurance, please give Scott or Greg a call today at Mendoza Family Insurance.
Beatrice Bakery. They ship cakes all over the country. True story. But take a look inside their shop and you'd have no idea. This is a Nebraska product through and through. Not some massive production plant. Local people making delicious cake just for you. So go see them in their new storefront location in downtown Beatrice. Grab some grandma's fruit cake, some chocolate rum cake, or my favorite, the turtle nut cake. And say hi to Rick and the crew. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Couple news and notes to round out the show here on the block from the world of basketball and somewhat the NBA. But first I wanted to shout out Lat Mayen, of course, former Husker, just signed a 2-year deal to play over there in Australia with the Cairns Taipans. So congrats to that man, because he was playing in some other league that wasn't quite as guaranteed. So now, good on him. And of course, he's one of the outgoing Huskers from this past season. In the NBA, it's interesting. First of all, Patty Mills declined his player option. So maybe, as we've known, the chemistry in Brooklyn not too good. Patty Mills doesn't want to be there anymore. James Harden is declining a $47.4 million option to return to the 76ers, but the return is imminent. He's actually giving the plan is to sign a contract that gives the team more financial stability. So how about that from James Harden? We give him a lot of crap about not working out in the postseason or being a team player. Certainly wasn't in Brooklyn, but a little bit more committed there with the 76ers. Interestingly enough, on the same day that Russell Westbrook said, "No, I'll just take my $47 million and sink the Lakers along with it."
Yeah, you knew he wasn't gonna he wasn't gonna get that anywhere.
No,
there was not going to be that money.
No, that type of money is not out there in the open market for him. But I think that's interesting. James Harden, hopefully will get some good public recognition out of that, because usually it's all, James Harden eats too much or goes to the strip club too much. Who doesn't do that? Who doesn't want to have some fun? And now he's a team guy, James Harden. So
who would have thought or thunk?
Yeah. So there you go. That's some of the news as we round up there. I did want to remind people too, we got a special event coming up, an evening with the Huskers, presented by 93.7 The Ticket here. It's Monday, July 18th. It'll be at Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill and Tavern 180. They're helping us present this as well. You got to sign up. Special guests will include Garrett Nelson of Scotts Bluff, O'Shawn Mathis, of course, the big defensive end transfer coming in, Trey Palmer, big 5-star receiver. Also some surprise guests. Strick, you're going to be there.
Yep.
Husker Online, Sean Callahan will serve as the Masters of Ceremonies. And for what it's worth, a lot of the 93.7 The Ticket staff outside of Strick will be there as well. The cost is only $199 per person. Includes cocktail hour with appetizers and drinks from Tavern 180 and Tanner's, and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner from Tavern 180. Open bar. That's exactly what you heard. What you heard there. Open bar provided until the end of the event. So that will be a lot of fun. We'd like to invite you guys out there, and make sure you sign up quickly, as it will. Seating is limited to first 120 people, so it might go quickly. So I just wanted to update you guys on that, because that's going to be a lot of fun. That'll wrap it up for On the Block. I think we have ticket weeknights coming up, moving along here. But Strick, I want to thank you for another great show today. Maybe we'll have some more Husker news. We didn't really have any Husker news today, so we didn't want a lot of national talk, and that's fine, because we can't just make up news. Sometimes we can.
Sometimes.
And maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But either way, we have fun, whether it's Husker or national news. We love talking sports with you guys. Thanks for everybody for chiming in on the Starter Heyman text line. And we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks again, and have a good evening.